Good morning and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, July 24th, 2019.
Commissioner Garcia, Cabello, Davis, and Caloza are present. Vice President Cabello, we do have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Sanitation.
Farhana Muhammad, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Udi Jimenez, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Sefi Wiles, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Andrew Vargas, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Tania Segari, City Attorney's Office.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Vice President Cabello, we received one speaker card under general public comment. We do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comments section. We did receive a speaker card on item number 1, 2, 3, 13, and 14 for today's agenda.
Okay, before we take up public comment, let's do a couple of housekeeping items. Let's do approval of the minutes for the meeting of Friday, June 7th, 2019. Is there a second to my motion to approve both meeting minutes, seconded by Commissioners Garcia and Davis? Without objection, those meeting minutes are approved. Next, we are going to be continuing item number 14, an oral report on the 6th Street Viaduct for 2 weeks to Wednesday, August 7th, 2019, without objection. Let's go to public comment. Mr. Sachs.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Arnold Sachs for the record, and for the record, Arnold Sachs. I thought I'd do something a little different today. A couple things. I was in Venice over the weekend, and I was sitting at a bus stop at Abbot Kinney and Venice, and on the back of the bus stop is an ad, End Family Fire. 8 kids a day are killed or injured by guns that are left unlocked and loaded. And the website is endfriendlyfire.org. The reason I bring that up is twofold. Bernie Sanders is supposed to be coming to Santa Monica. And so a question about his stand on gun violence. And B, also a question about the HMOs and the ACA plan. Because in Los Angeles County, the LA Cares Foundation, or health plan organization, is bankrupting the government. They get 100,000 people signed up. They're getting federal help to pay their benefits, their bill, $1,000 a month. That's $100 million a month that they're collecting, and they're not providing any services. We need to find out what he's going to do to straighten that out. Maybe he'll get some attention that way. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. And with that, we'll close public comment as well as closing the Neighborhood Council commentary section as well. Let's go to item number 1 in Council District 11. Bids will be received at 10 a.m. for the following public works projects: Venice Pumping Plant Variable Frequency Drives number 1 and 4, and Bayona Creek Pumping Plant Variable Frequency Drives replacement for an estimate of $1,609,470. Dr. Campos.
Thank you, Vice President Cabello. Fernando Campos,
I'm
Executive.
so sorry. Let me call up Mr. Sachs. I forgot he has a speaker card on this item. My apologies.
Yes, thank you again. For the record, Arnold Sachs. And as I said earlier, I was in Marina Del Rey, actually. They had a hearing about the gas explosion at Playa Del Rey. And I also said I went to the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday. And so one of the things that came out of that Board of Supervisors meeting, and that was quite a meeting, by the way, was they want to do some work in Malibu, but it's contingent on 2 things: the regulations of the Los Angeles County Waterworks District and the Marina Del Rey Water Systems, Rules 1A30, 1A32, 1A-44, 1A-46, 1A-47, and 1A50. And so this pumping plant being in Venice, and I would imagine is covered by the Marina Del Rey water system rules or the LA County water system rules. Would that affect any of this work? I know that the bus depot that was planned in Venice had to be canceled because they couldn't get the natural gas to for some reason the depth of the ground wouldn't have been sufficient to put the natural gas tank in for the buses to be able to refuel. So I'm just wondering, with this Venice water plant, is everything on the up and up? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Dr. Campos.
Thank you, Vice President Cabello. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. We will open up the bids today. Again, this is for a capital improvement project related to the Venice pumping plant in Council District 11. We did receive 4 bids in total. The first bid received is from Myron, M-I-R-O-N, Electric Construction Corporation for a total bid amount of $1,478,641 even. That's $1,478,641 from Myron Electric Construction Corporation. The second bid received is from Eco Energy Solutions Incorporated, doing business as High Volt Electric, for a total bid amount of $1,459,366 even. That's $1,459,366 from Eco Energy Solutions Incorporated. The third bid is from Tercero, that's T-E-R-C-E-R-O Incorporation, for a total bid amount of $1,434,851 even. That's $1,434,851 from Tesoro Incorporation. That's T-E-R-C-E-R-O. The fourth and final bid received for this project is from Lead Electric Incorporated for a total bid amount of $1,357,987 even. That's $1,357,987 from Lead Electric Incorporated. Vice President Cabello, that concludes the bid openings for today's agenda.
And just for the record, Dr. Campos, we do not need a motion on this item, correct? We do need a motion.
We do.
Okay, is there a second to my motion to adopt item 1? Seconded by Commissioner Caloza. My apologies. Any objections, sending it forthwith? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and adopt item 1 and send it forthwith.
And that is to receive the bids, open them, and declare them forthwith. Thank you.
Exactly that. Thank you. Let's go to items 2 through 12. We're going to take those items up together. I will read them all into the record. They are all assessment hearings from street lighting maintenance assessment districts. I'll go through each one individually, but just to note for the record that the City Council hearing for all items is July 30th, 2019. Item number 2 in Council District 14, assessment hearing number 1, 14th Street and Olive Street. Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District. Item number 3 in Council District 2, assessment hearing number 2, Riverside Drive and Farmdale Avenue. Item number 4 in Council District 13, Glendale Boulevard and Clifford Street number 3. Item 5 in Council District 2, assessment hearing number 4, Houston Street and Riverton Avenue. Item number 6 in Council District 2, assessment hearing number 5, Magnolia Boulevard and Vantage Avenue. Item number 7 in Council District 3, assessment hearing number 6, Clarendon Street and Topanga Canyon Boulevard number 2. Item number 8 in Council District 9, assessment hearing number 7, Figueroa Street and 40th Place. Item 9 in Council District 6, assessment hearing number 8, Sun Valley Jerome Lighting Area. Item number 10 in Council District 12, assessment hearing number 9, Woodley Place and Woodley Avenue. And item 11 in Council District 2, assessment hearing number 10, Kling Street and Morella Avenue. Item number 12 in Council District 13, assessment hearing number 11, Mitchell Terrena Street and Berkeley Avenue number 1. We have cards on items 2 to 3. I believe that means 4 minutes for Mr. Sachs.
Yes, thank you again. Good morning. For the record, Arnold Sachs. And I know it's somewhat fascinating. I was actually going to say thank you for the opportunity to speak on these assessments. And these are these assessments for the street lighting maintenance, or are they separate? Because a lot of times you have street lighting and then you have dash maintenance. The amount of money that's involved in here. I also went to a board meeting. I went to that same board meeting. They had an item on the agenda that was talking about fees for residential street numbers. There was something else involved in it, but they tied the rate of the fees into the consumer price index. Have you ever considered tying the assessment fees into the consumer price index? What that would do for the city? The other thing I was going to say, excuse me, is city council, when these are heard, it's public hearings, they only give you 1 minute to do one public hearing. The other, these will all be heard at city council on the 20th. The other 11, you won't be able to speak on because you only get 1 minute at a public hearing. So essentially they become Brown Act violations. So here's where you pay attention. If you go and you sit in that meeting, you can collect $100 per Brown Act violation because the city will only let you speak on one public hearing item. And according to the Brown Act rules, you're allowed to speak on public hearing items. But they really don't want people speaking out against city policies, so they create this situation where you're not allowed to speak on the items because time is up. Because we've changed the council rules. They changed the council rules. They made a motion. They read the motion into the rules twice. They made 1,000 motions. They never read them into the rules. That motion they read into the rules, so it become legal. You say, what's the big deal? That's, if you listen to the county's plans, tomorrow's government today, that's the big deal. Anyway, back to the lighting and stuff. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on all these districts, but essentially I would say the same thing. The people need to be involved in this. They need to have an idea what they're spending money on because nothing seems to ever improve. That's a real problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Mr. Flamenco.
Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. For the record, these are street lighting maintenance assessments only. There are no construction costs associated with these lighting districts. And yes, these lighting districts are tied to the Consumer Price Index. The assessments will increase annually by no more than the Consumer Price Index as determined by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Items 2 through 8 and 10 to 12 pertain to lighting districts which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Item 9 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with a community development block grant project. Ballots for items 2 through 6 were mailed on June 12, 2019. Ballots for items 7 through 12 were mailed on June 13, 2019. Ballots for items 2 to 12 must be received by the City Clerk's office by next Tuesday, July 30th. We have not received any objections to date on items 4 through 12. We are requesting for the board to deny the protest for items 2 and 3. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward items 2 to 12 forthwith to City Council.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions? Seeing none, Commissioner Garcia moves to adopt items 2 through 12 forthwith. Is there a second to council member? I'm already promoting you. Commissioner Garcia's motion. Seconded by Commissioner Davis. Without objection, we'll adopt items 2 through 12 and send those forthwith. Thank you. There's been a request to continue item number 13 to Wednesday, July 31st. Without objection, we will.
Excuse me, Commissioner. I am here from the Bureau of Street Services if you can hear it today.
We're happy to hear that. I just received that request from
That was a request from the Bureau of Street Services, so my apologies. We did not know you were here.
All right, let me read it
I
into
was
the
not
record.
aware
and we
that
do-
it had been requested for rescheduling.
Okay,
If you'd
we're
like
happy
to
to take
consider
it
item
up.
13, it is on the agenda.
I'm happy to take it up. We're happy to take it up. So we're going to, we
do
do
have
have a speaker card, so if
That's
you'd like to
fine.
go ahead and
Thank
sit
you.
down, let me read it into the record. Item 13, Authority for Expenditure, Department of General Services, Office of Financial Services, Bureau of Street Services, and Office of Accounting requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $510,000 to encumber funds under authority for fiscal year 2019-2020 to pay the State of California Department of General Services, Office of Financial Services for the use of gas lines to operate the heater and dryer equipment at the Bureau's asphalt plants. The supply of gas enables the dryer to reduce the moisture content of the raw materials prior to mixing of the materials to produce asphalt. Mr. Sachs.
one more time, thank you again. For the record, Arnold Sachs. And again, this is like a Twilight Zone episode. I don't know if you realize that, but this is really like a Twilight episode. So I had a couple of things about this item. Number one, and most important, is that they're going to pay the State of California Department of General Services Office of the Financial Services for the use of gas lines to operate the heater and dryers at the Bureau of Street Services offices. Why are you paying, why are you paying the State of California General Services Office for gas lines? How many gas lines do they have running through the city? Do they have a franchise fee that does the city collect a franchise fee? I know they have franchise fees with other gas companies and the lines they run. And most importantly, they're paying $510,000 for the gas lines. Are they going to use political gas as fuel? I say that from the County Board of Supervisors because it's somewhat bifurcated, this item, which brings me back to the meeting yesterday. They bifurcated an item regarding a hearing on a zoning, yet they didn't vote on the bifurcation. They just went ahead and passed the whole item. So I'm wondering somewhat, again, redundantly, it's almost like a Twilight Zone meeting today. The things that happened yesterday are being conversed about today. I find that really fascinating. So thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Can we have the Streets LA representative come up, please?
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Gina Munch from the Bureau of Street Services. We've had a contract with DGS for many years in the past, and basically they do provide the gas. We have a contract for them to provide the gas, and we also have a contract with Southern California Gas to provide for the transportation of that gas through their pipelines. And these contracts have been in effect, like I said, for many years. We currently have the contracts in effect for Asphalt Plant 2, and we are in the process of negotiating a contract with Southern California Gas to provide the same type of services for Asphalt Plant 1 that will be up and running very shortly this summer. And so this AFE is the amount that we estimate will be required to pay for gas provided by DGS, for 1920 fiscal year for both Asphalt Plant 1 and Asphalt Plant 2.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions? Is there a second to my motion to adopt item 13 forthwith? Seconded by Commissioner Davis. Without objection, we will adopt item 13 and send that forthwith. Thank you. And today, colleagues, we have a special presentation, Bureau of Sanitation, Summer Introduction of Engineering and Science, also known as SITES program. Can we have Ms. Adrienne Murphy please come up?
Good morning, Commissioners and Board Reps. My name is Adrienne Murphy, and I'm here in support of LA Sanitation and Environment. In support of Mayor Garcetti's Hire LA's Youth Initiative, as stated in Executive Directive Number 9, in 2015, LA Sanitation and Environment established the Summer Introduction to Engineering and Sciences program in collaboration with the Economic and Workforce Development Department and the Los Angeles Unified School District. The 6-week program was designed to groom high school students with an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math to pursue careers in the environmental field. Since the inception of the program, LA Sanitation and Environment has mentored approximately 100 students who have gone on to pursue engineering and other courses of study. This year, the selection process was extremely difficult, as we had approximately 345 applicants, of which we were able to hire and mentor 24 exceptional high school students that you see seated behind me. And they will either be entering their junior year in high school or their senior year in high school in the fall of 2019, or will be going on to their first year of college in the fall of 2019. The program commenced on Monday, June 17th, and will conclude on this Friday, July 26th. The program provided students with opportunities to learn about zero waste, One Water Los Angeles, One Water LA, and Green Space, among other topics. To supplement their learning experience, various field trips were incorporated into the program, including a field trip to the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant and the Environmental Learning Center. The students were strategically placed throughout various divisions in LA Sanitation. I'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank LA Sanitation and Environment, Economic Workforce Development Department, and the Los Angeles Unified School District for their support of this program and to make sure that this program is a success. And I'd also like to thank several of our mentors who are actually here in support of the program. In addition to hearing some of the representatives from our 2019 class, I've also invited one of our first students from the 2015 class, Matthew Nelson. I know he was running a little bit late. He was actually walking. Oh, he's here. Yay, he's here. He was one of our very first students to kind of give some feedback as to what he's doing now. He's gone on, he's graduated college. So with that, I present to you the Sites Class 2019, and I thank you for your support and for your time.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Wow, the acoustics in here are great. I don't know who said that. Oh, good morning. Hello. Yeah, so my name is Matthew Nelson. As she said, I was one of the first interns in the Sites program here. And since then, I kind of wanted to just let you know what I did at that program and then how that sort of inspired me and sort of propelled my career thus far. So while I was working there, I was under the tutelage of the Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant. And while I was there, I was basically studying microbial filtration, kind of just seeing how bacteria can clean water, then how that water continues on to be repurposed for commercial use and for potable use. And in that internship, it kind of lit a fire under me because, first of all, I had a fantastic experience. Everything from the easy, simple work from taking inventory and learning how to organize my workstation to literally reading a whole bunch of different types of engineering documentation and shadowing engineers on a daily basis. I was really inspired to continue on, and so I applied to a whole bunch of different engineering schools. I received admission into UC Berkeley, where I continued on as a mechanical engineer, doing a simultaneous degree in both mechanical engineering and theater. And my very first year after Berkeley, after my freshman year, I got a fellowship to NBC Universal, where I worked as a mechanical engineer at the at Universal Studios Hollywood, and that was that was crazy. That was really wonderful, and that was a perfect way to sort of do some sort of theatrical work in a technical framework, which would really marry the two of my what are they called now? Majors, passions together, and so I love that, and I still continue to go back every single year to make sure that I keep up in good faith with the company. So that way, when I actually do finish graduating college, I'm a rising senior now. When I do graduate college, that I can go back there full time. But more so to the point, that continued on. The Sites program really did influence me because in my sophomore year, I thought, okay, I know what I want to do for my tail end of my career, which is theme park engineering. But what else is out there, right? I was taught to be curious with this program, so to continue exploring engineering. And so I received this scholarship called the McNair Scholarship, Ronald D. McNair Scholarship, where it sort of allows you to do research under a principal investigator at UC Berkeley, and it's fully funded. And so I did my research on microbial filtration, which was fantastic. So I already had the fundamental knowledge necessary to go forth and actually sort of execute that research because of the Sites program, which was really fantastic. So it was a full summer last year where I got to work with a principal investigator, and we developed these synthetic leaves that showed us that we could actually, using solar radiation, we could actually evaporate salt water through these synthetic leaves and then create sort of more or less purified water vapor while accumulating salt crystals on the bottom. And then my job was to then take that, that water vapor and then condense it down and make it potable for human consumption. And that was a really cool opportunity. And once I was able to do that, I got invited to the National McNair Research Symposium at UCLA, and I got to present my work there. And that was very, very wonderful. And then, I met a lot of wonderful people at that symposium, many of whom were directors and managers and professors of the engineering programs at UCLA, and we've since developed rapport. And they have, they're sort of helping me develop a track in order to get to UCLA for graduate school, which is what McNair ultimately wants all of its scholars to go to. And all of that would not have been possible without the SITES program, and again, I'm always thankful for that. And since then, I have sort of transitioned from the sort of like bacterial and solar and energy interest to more of like a technical cyber interest, because that's definitely a growing field nowadays. And from that point on, I work for Deloitte now as a cybersecurity risk analyst. I work there now, and that's where I came from. And that's going great so far. And once I go back to Berkeley, I'll be continuing my research and continuing my education until I graduate, and then after that, we'll see what life takes us. Yeah, it was a great program.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Ms. Murphy, do you have additional speakers? That's entirely your call. We're more than happy to. It's up to you. Don't torture them. Good morning.
Good morning. Is that okay for you? All right. Good morning. My name is Juan Cardenas. I'm an 18-year-old high school graduate who will be attending UC Berkeley's upcoming fall semester. My intent is to major in mechanical engineering and pursue a doctorate degree in the near future. I would like to begin by thanking the City of Los Angeles for providing me and others in this room the opportunity to work in the SITES internship program. This is both a blessing and a privilege to me. Being a teenager from South Central LA, I view this as a great accomplishment. As a child, growing up in this area helped shape my views and goals drastically. Being surrounded by gang violence, poverty, and ignorance, I knew very little of what a professional career was. These factors play a role in the views that others have of people with a similar background. Thankfully, I'm able to represent what people of color can accomplish after facing such adversity. I was lucky enough to be raised in a household where both my parents pushed my siblings and me to pursue higher education. While growing up, my father worked for an air conditioning services company, while my mother worked for a produce company in a cold factory, peeling and preparing fruit that you may see in catered foods. Currently, my mother is the only provider for my family, as my father is serving time in prison. Growing up these past 8 years without my father has been a difficult challenge, yet I've been able to overcome it alongside my mother and siblings. I am proud to say that the future will be very different for my family as I continue to acquire the knowledge and power necessary to succeed as a successful individual in this world. Not only did I gain valuable work experience, but I was also able to meet amazing individuals through this program who helped alter my perspective of professional environment. I was assigned to work at the Environmental Learning Center at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. My supervisors were able to demonstrate what proper office etiquette is like, how to network, and how to participate in a professional conversation. As an intern, I was entrusted with various tasks, such as setting up AV equipment, assisting with events for city partners and organizations, hosting tours of the Environmental Learning Center, and handling maintenance for the center's exhibits. I was also able to meet with engineers at the plant, which gave me insight on the duties that I may have in my future career. These meetings were organized by my supervisors, which I'm grateful for. I also acquired a wealth of information through this program, and this information encompasses programs such as One Water LA and Zero Waste. I found these programs fascinating as they demonstrated the city's determination for environmental protection and sustainability. Due to my awareness of these plans that LA Sanitation has in action, I have fostered an interest in returning to work for this bureau in the future. I aspire to achieve my goals in the coming years and return to work for my home, the city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you. I know as a young gentleman, you would definitely want to have ladies go first. So let's hear from the young woman behind you.
Hello, my name is Amanda Alcala. This fall, I will be a junior at Narbonne Magnet High School in Harbor City. Never in 1,000 years would I have thought I'd be given the opportunity to work for the city of Los Angeles. Here I was, just a 16-year-old girl who didn't know what options were available to her. So far, all I had known in my life was my family, dance, and school. I had so many interests, but never knew where to settle. I was always told, go to college for something that you are passionate about, but how could I do dance, drama, tennis, and jewelry making all at the same time? Then I was given the opportunity to work at the Environmental Learning Center at Hyperion through the SCI's internship program, which gave me insight on what my true passion is, working and educating people about the environment. Not only did I learn that, but I became more aware and socially conscious of how important it is for LA Sanitation to protect the public's health and environment. I never knew the significant impact LA Sanitation has on our daily lives. To be honest, I didn't even know it existed before I came to work here. There's so much work that gets done at the ELC with event planning and public relations, and I've really enjoyed the personal growth and work experience I've gained these past few weeks. After high school, I plan on going to a 4-year university, and I'm entertaining the idea of applying for the city of Los Angeles when I'm old enough. I think it will be a very fulfilling career path. Working with the public and educating younger school groups has been a real eye-opener for me, and I'm thankful for that. I was given clarity on what I see myself doing in the future, and that's all anyone can ever ask for. This internship opens so many possibilities for me, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Chester Cahill, and this coming fall I will be attending Eagle Rock High School as a senior. And I would also like to extend my gratitude for this wonderful program and also being able to be one of the very few who were picked out of the large pool of students in order to be able to be part of this program. Throughout my entire life, I've always been encouraged by my wonderful parents to do as well as I can in my studies, whether it be within education and school or otherwise outside of that. But math and engineering in those fields were not necessarily the forefront or the most important studies within my family. But as I was growing up, especially coming in middle school, I realized that my particular desire to increase my knowledge on chemistry specifically, and also math, began to lead how I wanted to spend my time at school and also how I wanted to develop my interests for careers in the future. And so that's why after I finish high school, I would like to continue at a 4-year college and major in chemical engineering and also then minor in music, particularly jazz studies. And so within this program, I was fortunate enough to combine both of my love for science and also with math, as I worked in the financial management department for particularly the sewer service charge of LA Sanitation, where I was able to calculate the particular billing forms for residents and commercial buildings on their sewer usage, and also give and also if they have any particular requests to inculcate them within the calculations. And so throughout this program, like many others have said, it's being able to work alongside engineers and also to experience the various works of LA Sanitation. It's very mind-blowing because, especially at a young age, you take many of these things for granted, where you think that wherever your waste goes, it just disappears, or otherwise some of the wonderful works we have on the streets or the other provisions that help us, that keep us safe. A lot of that we take for granted, but being able to have an experience where we work with others who work tirelessly to keep the city safe and well put up, it's a wonderful experience and eye-opening event that I would love to continue in my future, and also hopefully be able to help the city of Los Angeles when I finish my degree in chemical engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know we want to take a picture with all of you in the back, but before we do so, I know a couple of words from my colleagues. Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you, Vice President Cabello. I just want to say thank you to everybody that has put this program together. Ms. Murphy, congratulations on yet another year of this great program. Based on the results that we have heard today and given on the applications that have come in, I think we should double it up, don't you think? Just putting it out there, just putting it out there. We had 24 this year. How about we go to 50 next year? Just saying. I'm just saying that because all these great folks that have been individuals that were part of this program demonstrated such great articulation in their speech here, and I don't know if that was part of their schooling at LAUSD or part of our internship program that made them really speak that well. And so I just want to say whoever has mentored these young kids, thank you. They have, oh, there you are. Thank you, because they were so well spoken in a place that really intimidates everybody. Even when I stand on that side, I get intimidated. So I just have to say congratulations to all of you guys that spoke and everybody else that's sitting in the room. I'm sure you also would be able to speak that same way as well. We can't hear all of you, but I just have to say congratulations. You guys did a wonderful choice and making sure that you participated in this program. And also to the mentors that also agree to be part of this program, congratulations and thank you all. Because this is exactly, Matthew is a clear example. Where are you, Matthew? There you are. You are a clear example of what we want as an outcome, a short-term and long-term for this program. And so the life that Matthew has created for himself and will continue to create for himself is exactly what we want for every City of LA youth. So thank you, everybody, Ms. Murphy, for putting this program together. And I hope we can continue to touch more and more lives every year. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. Commissioner Davis.
Yes, Adrian Murphy, I too would like to commend you as the leader of our internship program at the Bureau of Sanitation for an outstanding job of outstanding young people who have matriculated in the program, and I see that it reflects the culture of Los Angeles, which means, in fact, that we have people of various backgrounds who are part of the program as well. Mayor Eric Garcetti, when he came as our leader of the city, said that he wanted to expand the opportunities that young people in the city of Los Angeles had to engage in internship programs. And we expand what used to be, I guess, 5,000 young people working in the summers to, I guess, 15,000 now? And this program is a shining example and a reflection of what it is that we do well, not only in the city of Los Angeles in general, but in the Bureau, in the Department of Public Works in particular. And that is that we do engineering very well. And while we do have a Bureau of Engineering, many of our various bureaus provide engineering jobs. And so those of you who seek to be engineers have had more than just a glimpse at what engineering is as you do in school in terms of studying and reading about it, but you have now had an opportunity to touch and feel a real engineer. And I hope that you have been inspired by having the opportunity to work side by side with the engineers that you've been fortunate enough to meet in your journey this summer. And I hope that those of you who were not sure that this is the pursuit that you wanted to engage in are now committed and dedicated and even more motivated to be an engineer. I think finally I will say that what engineers do that is really important is that in the work that you do, regardless of the assignment you have, be it sanitation, engineering, street services, street lighting, in all of the work that engineers do at any of the bureaus here in the Department of Public Works, they improve the quality of life, not only individually, but for communities and for neighborhoods. And so they help to, in general, improve the city of Los Angeles. And so we look forward, hopefully, that you will come to the Department of Public Works once you finish your education. And I must say that I was truly inspired by every testimony that was given by each of those students that are a part of your cohort in this particular summer class. So I wish you the very best, and I know that in 4 years we can count on you coming back to work as an employee, and I would know that Adrian Murphy would want it to be in the Bureau of Sanitation. But just know you've got many choices. So we thank you so very much, and we hope that you will continue, and we know that you will continue to achieve and make us all proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Calosa.
Thank you, Vice President Cabello. Just to echo what my colleagues have already mentioned, really thank you to the Bureau of Sanitation for your leadership and really reaching out to our youth and empowering them. It's clear that you guys have made such an impact during really formative time in their life as they decide what careers and what future they want for themselves. And I think, we have an inspired group of people here that are young leaders in the community, and it's really exciting to be looking at the future of LA, future builders of LA, I hope. And like what my colleague said, we really look forward to your future employment here with the City of Los Angeles. And it's an exciting time. There's a lot of things on the horizon, really exciting projects from the Olympics to other large projects that each individual bureaus are working on that really you can be a part of. So thank you again to Ms. Murray, to the leadership at Sanitation for really seeing the opportunity here and for opening doors for our youth and making sure that they have a venue in which to learn and grow from. So your work is truly appreciated, and thank you also to the mentors that are here in the room and for taking time out of your busy schedules and to really connect and be part of this program. So thank you and congratulations to the students. We really look forward to seeing what you're all doing next.
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa. And just a point of personal privilege, I'd just like to also not only echo all of my colleagues' comments, but really thank LA Sanitation and Environment for this opportunity. Providing this opportunity and investment in the next generation is going to be key. And providing that opportunity and looking at the group that was part of this SITES program, I see majority people of color. I see, although I'd always love more, a lot of young girls and women in that group. And that's going to be key because our biggest challenge that we have to solve and that you are going to have to solve in your generation is climate change. And it's going to take the scientists, the engineers, the mathematicians, all the technology to really tackle that problem from what you're inheriting. So thank you for that interest. And finally, to the mentors, thank you so much for taking your time, and not only your time and understanding and imparting the knowledge of your skill set, but the soft skills that you're teaching them. The young woman from Harbor City referred to teaching us Harbor City, networking, and things like that are really, really important. It's not just learning the day-to-day of the office, but it's those soft skills that you impart. You really leave an impression on these folks, and it's going to be crucial for their success moving forward. So thank you all. And with that, let's go ahead and take a picture in the back. We'll recess the meeting. colleagues, if we can come back, we're going to resume the meeting. Commissioner Davis, I see you in the back. Not even looking at me. We still need to conclude our meeting. Well, he's up next. That's why we have adjourning motions. So I'm going to ask everyone in the audience to please just be a little quiet as you leave, because we have 2 adjourning motions today as we conclude our meeting, and we want to make sure that we do that with as much respect as possible. Okay, we are back. And Dr. Campos, confirming that the desk is clear.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So, colleagues, today we'll be adjourning our meeting in honor of 2 legendary Democratic activists, Darren Parker and Barbara Francis Torres. And so let's start with Commissioner Davis to honor Darren Parker.
Thank you, Vice Chair. It is my honor to adjourn in the memory of Darren Parker, who passed on Monday of cancer. He was the chair of the African American Caucus of the California Democratic Party and served over 10 years as chair, which were 5 two-year terms. In his capacity, he worked with many elected officials, all of whom came to speak before the Democratic Party and the African American Caucus in particular on many major public issues. He was the friend of Council President Herb Wesson, Mayor Eric Garcetti, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, among a host of local elected officials with whom he came in contact in his role as chair of the California Democratic Party's African American Caucus. Darren was the father of 5 daughters. He served as a staff member for 3 state assembly speakers, including Tony Atkins and current Speaker Anthony Rendon. He was a resident of the Antelope Valley area, where he had the experience of running for both state assembly and state senate in that region. Darren was dedicated and committed. He was a fighter for justice and equality. He enjoyed his role as chairman of the caucus, of the Black Caucus, because it provided him an opportunity to communicate with other leaders about solving problems in our society. Darren also served in the city of Los Angeles as a immediate past vice chair of the Los Angeles County Democratic Party. So today, it is with the greatest of admiration for his many years of leadership and service to California and to our region that we adjourn in the memory of Darren Parker, a community activist and a fighter for justice and fairness.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Colleagues, today I ask that we adjourn in memory of Barbara Torres, a beloved labor activist, political organizer, and social justice warrior. Barbara passed away on Saturday, July 13th, 2019, at the young age of 38. She was born and raised in East LA, a community that she loved and spent her life fighting to make better. Barbara came from a hardworking family. Her mother exemplified strength and perseverance when she was left struggling to raise 5 children alone following the untimely death of their father. Her upbringing shaped her into a woman who was passionate about standing up for what she believed in and helping the most vulnerable. At the very tender age of 14 years old, Barbara became a student worker with the LAUSD, leading to a career that spanned nearly 25 years. She spent 20 of those years helping the neediest of students as a special education paraprofessional. Most recently, she was working with her sister Frances at Griffith STEM Magnet Middle School, where she first started her LAUSD career. Barbara believed that all children should have equal access to a quality education. So she took action to ensure that she and her colleagues would have the tools and training necessary to best serve our LAUSD students. Through her diligence and tenacity, she rose through the ranks to become the first Latina and youngest person to serve as the president of SEIU Local 99. As president of one of the strongest unions in the LAUSD, Barbara represented more than 45,000 education workers in K through 12 schools, early education centers and homes, administrative offices, and community colleges throughout the Los Angeles County Office of Education. She fought to transform her union and stood for pay equity, access to quality education, and health care for all. Barbara played a pivotal role in increasing the minimum wage to $15 per hour and securing wage increases for the LAUSD classified employees because she understood and truly believed that everyone deserved the right to thrive in this economy, not just survive. She was also a leader in the Los Angeles County Democratic Party and served as the board sergeant at arms. She left her mark there too, and very loudly, I might add, and made an impact on many elected officials and activists as well. When life got hard, Barbara continued to fight and never let obstacles get in her way. She was a champion of the underdog because she was one. She was a true advocate for her community and a friend to those most in need. Barbara loved politics and believed that when we are stronger when we come together. Barbara's rallying cry, and again a very loud one, as those of us recall, when we fight, we win. And because of this, she was able to make a difference in so many in the East LA community and way beyond. Barbara leaves behind a loving family and a community that will continue her legacy of advocacy for social and economic justice. She is survived by her siblings, Catherine, Francis, Raul, and Julian Jr., and her 3 nieces who supported and loved her with all of their heart, Brianna, Adriana, and Raven. May she rest in power. And with that, we are adjourned in memory of both Darren and Barbara. Thank you.